This is the Mission Objectives panel. This screen displays the locations and details of each objective you are given during the course of a mission. When a new objective appears, a flag will sometimes be placed on the map to indicate the area where the objective can be completed. Information about an objective will always appear first in this dialog box. Left-click the Close button to continue. Place your mouse cursor over the flag that has just appeared and notice how the text on the right-hand side of the screen becomes highlighted. This is the objective that is associated with this flag. If you hold your mouse cursor over the flag long enough, a helpful tooltip will appear that explains the objective in greater detail. Tooltips offer useful information about almost any object found in the game and can be accessed just by hovering your cursor over anything you see. This screen also offers other useful information about your current mission. Located below your objectives is the Information button. Click it. Clicking the Briefing button will display the introductory mission briefing text. The History button provides historical background relative to the current mission, and the Hints button provides clues about the best way to accomplish your objectives if ever you become stuck. You can also pause and unpause the game at any time by pressing Shift-Pause. Now press the Close button and press the Tab key to exit this screen. You can also get helpful information about every aspect of Empire Earth 2 by opening up the Empire Earth Encyclopedia. Go ahead and open it now by clicking on the icon in the upper right part of the screen. From here you can gain detailed information about any part of the game just by clicking the related topic on the left side of the screen. Feel free to return to browse through the topics as long as you'd like. When you are ready to continue with this tutorial, close the encyclopedia by clicking the large X at the bottom of the screen. By going into the Empire Earth Encyclopedia, you have also accomplished an objective. At any point during the scenario, if you are unsure what to do next, you can check your current objectives by going back to the Mission Objectives panel. Left-clicking the Objectives button located to the right of the epoch display in the top center of the screen will take you there. The Objectives button looks like a flag and flashes whenever your mission objectives are updated. You can also call up previous text messages or voiceovers by pressing the H key. Check your updated mission objectives now by selecting the icon or pressing Alt-O. Your next objective is to select a citizen, so let's go back to the main screen now. Press the Tab key to exit this screen. Now, please select one of your citizens by left-clicking on a unit in the middle of the screen.
Yes?
Good. Now look at the information provided in the Unit Information panel located in the bottom center right portion of your screen. The panel will provide valuable information such as hit points, attack rating, range and speed on any currently selected object. It will also display the unit's current loyalty rating, which is its resistance to being converted by enemy priests. The panel to the left of this one is the Unit Action panel. This lists all the abilities available to the selected object, including construction options, behaviors, special actions, and special powers. There are also other ways to select units besides left-clicking on them individually. You may also hold down the Shift key while clicking on different units to select a group. Other ways of selecting groups include holding down the left mouse button and dragging diagonally across the group to create a selection box. Releasing the button selects the units in the box. You may also double-click on a certain type of unit to select all units of that type on screen. Experiment with this now.
What can I do?
Now, with your citizens selected, right-click near the rocks on the screen.
All right.
Good. That is the most common method for issuing a movement command in the game. Another method is to use the minimap, located in the lower left corner of your screen.
I'll do my best.
The minimap is a top-down view of the entire play area of your current game. Black areas are places about which you have no knowledge, while dim areas are areas you have been but have no current information about. Brightly lit areas are those places within your line of sight. Left-clicking on a position on the minimap will shift your main view to that location. With your citizens selected, right-click on the minimap where a signal flare has just been placed to tell them to move there. Signal flares are used to attract your attention to important events. Sometimes it means you are under attack, and other times, like now, it is related to an objective. As your units move out, you can scroll the screen to follow them by pushing the mouse cursor to any edge of the screen or by using the arrow keys.
I will.
One of the most important aspects of Empire Earth 2 is the cycle of seasons. In snow or rain, your units will move slower and their sight range will be reduced. Although every unit on the map is affected by adverse weather conditions, moving units over long distances and exploring or invading another player's territory is much easier in summer or fall. Your citizens have arrived at an excellent location to build your first city. There are abundant resources nearby and plenty of room to build structures. With one citizen selected, left-click on the Build Civilian Structures icon in the Unit Action panel and select the City Center icon. Now, move the mouse cursor near the trees. Notice how the ghost of a city center replaces the cursor. If you move the ghost over trees or resources or other objects, the ghost turns red, which means this building cannot be built here. One or more icons indicating what the problem with the building placement is will also show up over the building ghost in this case. And the tooltip on the right side of the screen explains the exact reason. If you move the cursor over empty terrain that is mostly flat, it turns green, which means the site is suitable for construction. Move the ghost close to the trees and other resources and left-click when it is green. Your citizen will begin construction at that location. You may select additional citizens and order them to help with the construction by right-clicking on the site. When you have finished construction, select your city center. You can produce new citizens from your city center by left-clicking the citizen button in the action panel. Each citizen costs a certain amount of food. You can quickly check on how much food you currently have, as well as your stockpile of other resources, by looking at the icons at the bottom of the screen near the Object Information panel. From top to bottom, they are population, territories, technology points, food, wood, stone, and gold. There are also 2 slots for special resources, but in this tutorial, we'll just be talking about the basic resources of food, wood, stone, and gold, which are essential in constructing all units and buildings. The other resources will be covered in another tutorial. Produce as many citizens as your food stockpile will allow by clicking rapidly on the citizen icon. This queues up the production order for your convenience. Alternatively, you could order 1 or more citizens and then hit the Cycle Production button so that this building will keep producing what you initially ordered as long as there are resources for it. Each citizen that is produced contributes 1 point toward your current population level. Some units contribute more than 1 point. When you reach your maximum population capacity, you will be unable to build more units until you expand. You expand by building more city centers and houses. As your citizens are produced, you can order them to collect more food from the nearby forage bush and gold from the nearby gold pile by selecting them and right-clicking on the appropriate resource. Citizens are the only units that can gather resources. They will gather as much as they can from that resource pile and carry it back to the nearest city center or warehouse that you own. Alternatively, you can select the Set Rally Point icon in the action panel of your city center and then left-click on a nearby resource. Your citizens will now begin to harvest that resource as soon as they are produced. Additionally, you can find and select idle citizens in order to give them tasks by clicking the Idle Citizen button, located second from the left under the minimap. As a further shortcut to this, you can assign citizens to resources in a very general way, just by clicking on a resource in your resource stockpile display in the lower central portion of your screen. Right-click to pick up a citizen from that resource, and left-click to assign an idle citizen to it. Now, gather 100 food, 100 stone, 100 wood, and 100 gold. Excellent. Now select your city center again and produce a scout. Order your scout to explore the area by selecting him and left-clicking the Explore button in his action panel. Units on Explore will try to reveal as much of the map as they can to the exclusion of any other task. This means they won't respond when attacked, so be careful who you choose to send out exploring. You can also choose to send a unit on a Search and Destroy mission. This setting also sends a unit to explore the map, except it makes the unit immediately engage the first hostile unit it sees until either one is dead. More powerful units than the scout are usually tasked with Search and Destroy. The last lesson of this tutorial is about how garrisoning can improve your resource collection efforts. Select your city center and then right-click on it. Note the rally flag is now on the building. This means that any citizen produced here will automatically garrison the building. The Garrison Display in the building's information panel shows you how many units are currently inside and the maximum number that can be garrisoned. Clicking on this will bring up a panel that shows what units are currently stationed there. Build a citizen now or select one of your other citizens and have it garrison the city center by pressing the G key and left-clicking the building. The information panel on the city center has now changed to show the new garrison level. As a result of garrisoning, all resources dropped off at this city center will have a percentage bonus applied to them as they enter your stockpile. The greater the garrison level, the greater the bonus. Congratulations on completing the first tutorial. The Aztecs have made their home and claimed their territory. They are well on their way to building a lasting empire that will be known for its wealth, culture, and power. Congratulations on finishing the first Empire Earth 2 tutorial. Your civilization has grown beyond the borders of Tenochtitlan itself, and your people are now not just a city, they're a nation. In order to help defend your far-flung empire, you will have to build roads, walls, and fortresses. Exit this screen by pressing the Tab key, and let's get started. You can press the space bar to shift your view to the location that is currently being flared on the mini-map. We're going to build a road from our barracks out to this outpost so we can quickly move units there if needed. Scroll the screen back and select the nearby citizens and go into their Build Civilian Structures menu. Select the road icon in the Action panel. Left-click once near the barracks in the lower right corner of the city. Now scroll towards the outpost and note how the ghost of the road stretches to follow the mouse. You can place a bend in the road at any time by left-clicking again. Also note how a ghost of a bridge appears as you pull the road over the river. This means that the citizens will automatically attempt to build a bridge at this point, as they are constructing the rest of the road. When you've plotted the road to the outpost, left-click one last time near the structure, and then right-click to end placement. Let's go back and look at some of our military units standing near the city center. There are 7 classifications of land units in Empire Earth 2. The relationship between these classifications is true throughout every epoch of the game. The first class is the light infantry, represented by the crossbowmen on the left, with the blue glow underneath. Light infantry gain an attack bonus against heavy artillery and a smaller bonus against heavy infantry. Light and heavy infantry can also capture buildings. The second class is heavy artillery, represented by the trebuchet and its crew to the right of the crossbowmen. The heavy artillery gains an attack bonus against heavy infantry and a smaller bonus against light mounted. These units can also attack or bombard a selected area. The third class is heavy infantry, represented by the pikemen. The heavy infantry gains an attack bonus against light mounted and a smaller bonus against light artillery. The fourth class is light mounted, represented by the horse archer. The light mounted gains an attack bonus against light artillery and a smaller bonus against heavy mounted. The fifth class is light artillery, represented by the ballista. The light artillery gains an attack bonus against heavy mounted and a smaller bonus against light infantry. The sixth class is heavy mounted, represented by the elite cavalry. The heavy mounted gains an attack bonus against light infantry and a smaller bonus against heavy artillery. The seventh and final class is the Special Forces class, represented by the priest. This class includes priests, spies, and citizens, and has a bonus against no one, but also is not especially vulnerable to anyone. Priests, for example, are in this class because they do not attack other units, but instead attempt to convert them. If successful, the enemy unit comes under your control. The more priests attempting to convert a unit, the greater their chance of success. Sea and air units also have their own classifications that we will talk about in the following tutorials. For now, drag-select the group of military units that has been created for you near your city center and press Ctrl 1.
Lead the way!
You have just created a control group. Control groups are convenient ways of selecting large groups of objects quickly. Now, anytime you press 1, this group will automatically be selected. Some things you can do with your military units is to set their formation and stance. Click the Formation button in the Action panel and select the Wedge Formation. Formations in Empire Earth 2 help keep groups of units fighting together instead of getting spread too thin. Each formation has a different way of arranging units, depending on the formation's main purpose. The wedge, for instance, is generally better at attacking than the phalanx. Now select the stance icon in the Action panel to assign a certain behavior type to these troops. Aggressive behavior will tell these units to attack and pursue any enemy they see. Defensive behavior will tell them to attack enemies they see, but not to pursue. Hold position will tell them to only attack enemies within range, but never to move from their location. Hold fire will tell them to never fire on anyone and never to move. Finally, cautious behavior will tell them to flee from enemies if attacked. For now, just leave it on defensive and move them closer to the barracks.
March! Run them through!
That was the attack alarm. Look at the minimap to see where the latest flare has indicated an attack. Press spacebar to center our view on the attack location.
What is it?
It looks like the Spanish have decided to attempt to conquer your civilization. Press 1 to select your military and right-click near the outpost while holding down the control key. This instructs your units to move to the location while attacking any enemies they encounter along the way. Press 1 twice to center your view on the control group. They'll use the road as much as they can to get to the target as fast as possible. When they arrive, right-click on the Spanish and watch your forces attack in formation. Because the Spanish are attacking with light and heavy mounted troops, it turns out our forces of heavy infantry and light artillery are the perfect counter.
Run them through! March! Run them through! March! Run them through!
Great work! You have defeated the Spanish incursion. It's time to make sure they'll stay away. Select the citizens that built the road to the outpost and click on the Build Wall icon under Build Military Structures. You can place walls just like roads. Go ahead and connect the two wall sections by your outpost. Don't forget to right-click to finish placement. When the citizens finish building the wall, we'll make a gate and some towers.
Lead the way, by any means necessary. March! Run them through!
Here. Yes?
Great! Now select one of the pieces of the wall that looks like a tower. Click the Upgrade to Tower button in the Action panel. This piece will now undergo a short period of reconstruction and will become a strong point on the wall, which can be garrisoned to increase its attack rating against approaching enemies.
Ready. Yes? Moving. I will.
Click on a regular wall piece and select the Upgrade to Gate button. This will force several segments of wall to change into a gate, allowing you to move your units easily through your fortifications while denying entrance to enemies.
Very well.
Palisades are another type of wall citizens can build. Palisades are weaker and don't have any towers, but they are a cheap form of defense and will also allow gates. Now, let's build a fortress near the gate. Select some citizens and select Fortress from the Military Structures panel and place it close to your side of the gate.
What can I do?
Fortresses are strong defensive structures that attack enemies within range. Units garrisoned in a fortress will have any damage done to them healed over time and increase the fortress's attack rating while they remain inside. The garrison capacity of a building considers a unit's population cost when determining how many units can be inside the building. So, for instance, twice as many infantry units can be garrisoned than mounted units. You can also use either a fortress or a city center to call an emergency by clicking the emergency icon in the building's action panel. This will automatically task the citizens in the same territory to garrison within the nearest fortress or city center. Clicking the same button again then sends them back to whatever they were doing. Go back to your city and select the pikeman standing near your barracks. Notice the icon in the lower right corner of his action panel. This is the patrol action button, and it is used to tell a unit or group of units to set a patrol path. Set a patrol path by clicking the button and left-clicking on the main map to set a series of waypoints you wish the unit to patrol. Right-clicking ends waypoint placement and sends the unit on his route. Now look at the icon just above the patrol icon. This shows the current training level of all pikemen in your army. You can upgrade his training level from regular to veteran and from veteran to elite by clicking this button and paying the associated resource cost. This increases many of the unit's attributes, such as attack rating and hit points, and applies to all the pikemen you currently own and will build in the future. This training is lost when the pikeman upgrades to become halberdiers in future epochs, so it is important to know how long you plan on using a certain unit before deciding to train it. When you are ready to continue, select the Great Pyramid of Tenochtitlan at the location currently being flared. This is one of the wonders of Empire Earth 2, a special set of buildings that have unique properties. Each regional group of civilizations has a wonder unique to their culture that they can build throughout the game. Each wonder has a specific power associated with it. For instance, the Great Pyramid of Tenochtitlan has the power of proselytize. When any of your priests successfully convert a unit, there is a possibility nearby enemy units will also be converted. Select your priests at the location being flared to experiment with this.
Your Eminence.
It's time to drive the Spanish from their foothold in the region. More troops have been created for you near your outpost, and the location of the enemy's base has been revealed. Drag select your military and control right-click near the enemy city center. You can add all these units to Control Group 1 by having them selected and simply pressing Control 1 again if you wish.
Lead the way.
Here. Of course. Your Eminence. They'll curse the day.
Yes, my lord. As you command. Look lively, men. As you command. As you command. Yes, my lord.
Your Eminence. They'll curse the day.
Yes, my lord. Look lively, men. As you command. Look lively, men. As you command. Look lively, men.
Take a look at the unit icons in the unit information display. This shows you how many and what types of units you currently have selected. While they're underway, select the pikeman icon and then select the capture button in the pikeman's action panel. Put the cursor over the enemy's city center and left click. This will order the pikemen to capture the city, while everyone else will attack any defenders. Units tasked with capturing a building will not respond to being attacked, so it's important to have other troops supporting them. When the city center is captured, you will get a share of the previous owner's resources. Capturing warehouses, docks, and markets will also allow you to steal some of the owner's resources. If you select the enemy city center, you can see the building's loyalty rating in its information panel. The more units you have trying to capture this building, the faster the rating will drop. When it reaches 0, the building will be yours and this tutorial will end.
Lead the way.
Your Eminence! Your Eminence!
Lead the way.
Hard!
Make ready. Make ready.
Yes, my lord.
My lord!
Your Eminence!
My lord! Lead the way.
The Aztecs have defeated their most dangerous enemy yet. A foreign power, using technology the Aztecs had not even dreamed of, was decisively driven from their shores. Congratulations on completing the second Empire Earth 2 tutorial. The Aztec people have flourished, and their many territories are developed and secure. You must build up your navy, however, if you wish to discourage foreign powers from intruding on your land. First, exit this screen and select a citizen, and tell him to build a dock by selecting the Build Dock button under Build Military Structures. Docks can be placed only on the coast. They cannot be placed on rivers, and boats cannot travel on rivers. Place the dock somewhere on the coast nearby.
What can I do? Here.
Good. Now select your dock and look at the action panel to see what you can build there. The top row shows the fighting ships you can build: the Carrack, the ship of the line, and the privateer. The Carrack is good at fighting the ship of the line, while the ship of the line is good against the privateer, and the privateer does well against the Carrack. Unlike land units, the combat relationships between sea units changes over time, so be sure to consult the Empire Earth Encyclopedia to see more about navies of other time periods. The second row of buttons shows the non-combat ships: the whaling ship, trading cog, and cargo ship. The whaling ship is used to harvest fish from the sea, the same way a citizen harvests food from a forage bush, while the trading cog can earn gold by trading with other docks, and the cargo ship can transport land units across water. Select the ships nearby and control right-click near the island that has been revealed on your mini-map.
Toe the line.
Ships can be put in formations to maximize their effectiveness. The best formation for broadside firing ships such as these is the line formation. You have encountered a fleet of pirate vessels. Destroy them. It is usually best to try to focus your fire on one target at a time. With your unit selected, you can hold down the Shift key and right-click on enemy units to queue up the units you wish to be attacked after the first target is destroyed. With the pirates' naval force wiped out, you can safely transport units to the nearby island to explore it. First, move your ships back and use the garrison action to put them in the dock to repair any damage they may have taken. Some new units have been created near the dock for your use as well. The cargo ship unit has no offensive capabilities, but can transport land units over water and unload them. Select the group of regulars standing near the dock and right-click on the cargo ship. The units will be tasked to perform the default action for this case, which is to embark onto the ship. Now select the Unload Transport action in the cargo ship's action menu and left-click on the island. Your transport will move there and unload the units garrisoned inside.
Attention on deck! Attention on deck! Attention on deck! Setting sail!
Eliminate any remaining pirates on the island.
On course. Awaiting orders.
Attention on deck! Ahoy! Hoist the sails! Attention on deck! Attention on deck! Attention on deck!
Whenever you're ready, right away. For king and country.
With the pirate threat dealt with for now, we can turn our attention to our neighbors at the top of the map. Since we can't be sure of the Americans' intentions, we should improve our base defenses a little. Go to the warehouse that is being signaled on the mini-map and select the citizens standing near it. Under Build Military Structures, select Build Outpost and place it somewhere near the warehouse. Since this is an important resource collection center, the outpost will help defend it.
Attention on deck! Toe the line!
The outpost can attack enemies within its line of sight. Outposts are one of the few units in the game that can spot spies. Spies are invisible to all players except the owning player and can only be seen by outposts and other spies. When a spy is spotted, all of your other units can see him for a short time as well and will attack.
All hands on deck.
Spies are always considered hostile
full
targets,
sail.
no matter which player they belong to. Let's build a spy of our own. Go to the area being signaled on your map and select the university. The university is where spies are trained and also where technology points can be gathered. We'll learn more about technology points in the last tutorial. For now, click the Build Spy button in the university's Action panel.
Attention on deck! Setting sail!
Whenever you're ready.
The spy has no attack capabilities, but he does have a set of special powers that make him very useful in infiltration and sabotage. Let's do a Gather Intelligence mission against the American player. Select the spy and choose the Gather Intelligence action from his action panel, and left-click on the city center that has just been revealed near the top of the map.
I am your instrument.
Well, it turns out the Americans had a second base we didn't know about. A successful Gather Intelligence mission carried out against a building reveals the location of all buildings of that type the player owns. It's useful in planning precision strikes or gauging the relative strength of another player. Since our spy didn't spot any enemy troops headed our way, let's see if we can trade with the Americans. A merchant ship has been created for you near your dock. Select it and then right-click on the United States player's dock in the top center of the screen. Select your merchant ship and look at the unit information panel. It shows you the money that will be generated for you when it reaches your dock. This is usually less than when it reaches another player's dock. Also notice the cargo it is carrying has a name. Cargo is randomly generated every time a merchant ship begins a new leg of the trade route. Some of the cargoes are more valuable than others. Other things that affect the value of a trade route include distance and number of trade units operating on the same route. Markets work the same way and can produce land trade units. Select your market and right-click on the United States Players Market, which is located near where his dock is. This will place a rally flag directly on that player's market. A rally flag tells the units produced from this building where to go when they are created. In the case of the market, this flag will tell the trade unit to immediately create a trade route with the targeted market. The other actions that can be performed at the market are direct buying and selling of resources. The gold resource is the exchange currency, and it is used to purchase other resources. As you buy and sell resources, their worth in your empire fluctuates based on your transactions, in accordance with the laws of supply and demand. The more you buy of a resource, the more it costs. The more you sell, the cheaper it becomes. Buttons with green arrows are for buying resources. Buttons with red arrows are for selling resources. The asking price in gold is listed on each button. Now, let's produce a trade cart to start a land trade with the Americans. Note how the merchant immediately begins to make his way to the other player's market along the road. When he gets there, he'll have to go inside and wait for a short time to complete the trade. Like sea trade routes, the greater the distance between two markets, the greater the profits.
Yes?
With a close trading relationship forming with the United States, the Aztecs looked forward to a bright future with their new friends. Never again would foreign powers threaten their two countries' development and prosperity. Congratulations on finishing the third Empire Earth 2 tutorial. Welcome to the final Empire Earth 2 tutorial. This tutorial will introduce you to special resources, nuclear devices, regional powers, air power, and the Crown's system. As the world nears the beginning of its most deadly conflict, World War II, the Aztec Empire and the United States remain friendly and consult closely with each other on plans to face the coming war. Unfortunately, the Aztecs' oldest neighbor, the Incan Empire, has become increasingly unstable and is now run by a fascist regime. As war looms in Europe and Asia, the Incan military continues to expand, and all signs seem to indicate that they will soon enter a direct alliance with the Axis powers. All the Aztecs can do is stay vigilant and respond as decisively as possible to any acts of war the Incans may be planning. Besides displaying your mission objectives, this full-screen map can also serve as a quick and easy way to manage your empire's economy. Click on the Citizen Manager button to see your entire resource collection efforts in detail. This screen shows an overview of your resource gathering efforts for your whole civilization. Icons both in the right-hand column and on the map represent each resource. The numbers next to each resource tell you how many citizens are assigned to collecting it. Idle citizens are attached to your cursor and can quickly be assigned to a resource by left-clicking a specific one on the map, or by left-clicking a type of resource, such as wood, in the panel to the right. Right-clicking a resource takes citizens off and adds them to your idle citizen pool. It is also possible to order the construction of certain resource collection buildings from this screen. The farm, for instance, can be built to harvest food. The oil derrick can be constructed to drill for oil. Oil is one of the special resources mentioned earlier. Special resources appear and disappear throughout the different epochs of the game. In early epochs, you can harvest resources like tin and iron to help build military units. But in later epochs, you'll have to construct special buildings like the oil derrick. Go ahead and build an oil derrick now. You can click the button on this screen and move your cursor over any oil resource on the map, and left-click to place it. An idle citizen will be sent to build it. Once it is built, any citizens that were constructing it will automatically garrison inside. An oil derrick gathers no oil unless it is garrisoned. The more citizens garrisoned, the faster the oil is gathered. You will now accumulate oil at a steady rate. Another type of resource that requires a special building in order to be gathered is technology. If you assign some citizens to the Tech Points resource in the right-hand panel, those citizens will move to the nearest university and garrison it. Tech Points are critical to researching technologies and moving your civilization forward through the epochs. Press the Tab key to exit this screen when you are ready to continue. Open the Tech Tree to see what technologies are available to be researched this epoch. Every epoch has 12 technologies that can be researched. These are broken up into 3 categories that relate to different aspects of the game. Military technologies occupy the top row and relate mainly to the attributes of military units. Economic technologies occupy the middle row and relate to resource collection and construction costs. Imperial technologies occupy the bottom row and relate to the attributes of special forces and some of your civilization's overall characteristics. Each technology gives a special bonus which you can see by placing your cursor over one until the tooltip appears. Researching technologies is how you'll spend your tech points, but you'll also spend them on advancing to the next epoch to open up new technologies. You'll need to research at least 6 technologies in an epoch in order to advance to the next one. At this time, it looks like you only need 1 more, so go ahead and pick one to research now. Advance to Epoch 13 by left-clicking on the flashing epoch display at the top of the screen. All of the new technologies of Epoch 13 have replaced those of Epoch 12 in the tech tree, but you still retain the bonuses from the technologies you have researched. However, the technologies that were left unresearched are now unavailable, so it is always a good idea to think carefully about when to epoch up and when to keep researching. Gathering special resources and researching technologies are good ways of making your civilization stronger, but securing an alliance also helps. Open the Diplomacy panel now. Click on the Propose Alliance icon located in the row belonging to the Americans. This will open up the negotiating table where you can craft exactly the kind of diplomatic agreement you would like to have with this player. On the Terms tab, you can specify how long the treaty will last, how much both players will be able to move through each other's territories, how much line of sight will be shared, and what kinds of restrictions will be placed on harvesting each other's resources. The other 3 tabs are for determining how many resources, units, and territories you might wish to tribute to the player in exchange for accepting the alliance. Let's offer the United States a good deal for being our friend. Make sure the Terms tab is selected and set the border permissions to trade. This will prevent any units besides trade units from crossing into each other's territory. Now, go to the Units tab and press the Select button. The Diplomacy menu goes away, but your treaty offer has not disappeared. It's just waiting for you to select which units you wish to tribute in the proposal. Select a citizen and click the Diplomacy button again, and you'll see the selected citizen is now included in the deal. Finally, go to the Territories tab and select your territory that borders the United States player. An icon appears on that territory, indicating it will also be included in the deal. When a territory is given to another player, all buildings on that territory are given over as well. Now, click the Send button and then exit the menu by clicking on the Close button. It seems the Americans have another kind of treaty in mind. Enter the Diplomacy menu again and click View Proposal to see the Americans' counter offer. When a player makes a counter proposal, you can easily see what that player changed by looking at anything highlighted in red. In this case, the only thing that has changed is that he has made a modest demand of resources. Click Accept to accept the treaty as it is and formalize the alliance. Excellent. Now let's look to our frontier. Go to where the signal flare has just appeared by pressing the spacebar and select the outpost there. Right now, this outpost is the only thing guarding the border between you and the Incans. A great way to keep an eye on the isolated outpost is to use the picture-in-picture display in the lower right corner of your screen. To use picture-in-picture, select Settings from the main menu, click on the Video tab, and click on Enable Picture-in-Picture. You can have this display always show the outpost if you wish by simply making a bookmark. Center your screen over the outpost and press Ctrl F1. Note, one of the slots below the pip display has become highlighted. That means that bookmark number 1 has been set. Since it is the only bookmark set, it is the one currently being shown. Not only do you now have a real-time view of the activities in this area, you can also manipulate objects seen in the pip so you can literally be in 2 places at once. Since the United States is our ally, we should use them to try to coordinate an attack. For this purpose, we can do one of 2 things. First, we can place a map flare at a location on the main screen or mini-map to where our ally will attempt to send forces if possible. You don't have to do this now. But to place a flare, you can click on the flare button located below the minimap or press Alt-Y to ready a map flare and then click on the main screen or the minimap where you wish to place it. Alternatively, you could use the War Plans feature to send your ally a detailed plan of attack. Access the War Plans tool now by clicking the icon with the crossed swords near the minimap or press Alt-Shift-P. From here, you can draw a set of directions and specify an objective on the map and send it to an ally for their consideration. Now press the button with the crooked arrow on it. This is the Path tool. You can set waypoints on the map by left-clicking and then right-clicking to end placement. This tool is used to show what path your units will take as part of this plan. Now click the Create Target Point button and left-click on the map to indicate a focused target point for this plan. Now press the Circle button to create an area on the map. Hold down the left mouse button while dragging the mouse to create a circular area of any size. This tool is used to indicate an area of interest rather than just one target. All of the items created so far will show up on the minimap on the main screen, if they are part of a currently accepted or sent plan. However, text labels are only visible from the War Plans page. You can add short messages to other players or name locations with labels by selecting the tool and left-clicking on the map and typing in the text box. You can also manipulate anything you have drawn so far by using the Select Element button. Select this button and click and drag any element you have created to move it to another location. You can drag the end of the path arrow if you just want to change its direction, or you can drag any waypoint on the path itself if you want to change its course. You can also resize the circle you made by clicking and dragging its edge. You can change the color of any new elements you wish to place by selecting a new player color. This way you can give orders to multiple players on the same war plan. By default, all war plan tools use your own player color. Now select the USA player's color and select the Path button and create a path on the map that you wish your ally to follow while executing this war plan. Anytime you wish to discard the war plan you are currently working on, you can click the Delete War Plan button. When another player sends you a war plan, you will receive a text message at the top of the screen and their name will highlight and flash on the panel on the right. If you click on their name, the war plan they sent to you will automatically be displayed on your screen. If that player has sent you more than one war plan, you can click on a drop-down box next to the player's name to select which one you wish to view. If you receive a war plan from an ally and you wish to send it back to him with changes, you can select the Copy War Plan button to make a version you can alter before sending it back. When you are finished creating or modifying a war plan, you can quickly send it to all of your allies at once by pressing the Send to Allies button. However, sometimes you may not want all of your allies to see your plans. The Send Current War Plan button will take you to a panel where you can customize which players will receive your war plan. Now press the Send the Current Plan button and choose the United States player and click Send. Your ally will do his best to comply with your request. But remember, as with human allies, computer allies don't always do things the way you planned. Once you've sent a war plan, you can create an entirely new one, if you like, by clicking the Create button. This will wipe your current plan off the screen, but it will not be erased. You can go back to viewing your original plan by deleting the one you're currently working on, or by sending it and selecting the old one from the drop-down box next to your player name. For now, let's exit this screen by pressing the Tab key. As our ally prepares to execute the war plan, let's do a bombing run. Select the airport being signaled on the map. The airport is the center of your air power. From here you can set a mission flag, which determines where your air units will patrol. You can determine who goes on the mission and who doesn't by using the Add Aircraft to Mission button. This button is defaulted to always being on, so any planes produced will immediately fly out to the mission flag. Finally, there is the Scramble button, which ejects all aircraft into the sky, which is useful if you're just about to lose the airport to the enemy. Select the Set Mission Flag button and place the flag over the enemy base being signaled. Once set, your garrison plane should take off. If not, simply select them in the airport's information panel and click Add Aircraft to Mission. The basic relationship between air units is that fighters are good against all air units, fighter bombers are good against naval units, and bombers are good against land units. An aircraft carrier is a naval unit you can produce at your dock that functions just like an airport, except it doesn't produce any aircraft. Of course, aircraft aren't the only way to bomb an enemy from the air. Once your civilization has reached Epoch 13, you gain the ability to build missile silos. Go to the area being signaled and select the citizens there. Select the silo building under Build Military Structures and place it nearby.
Here.
Now, select the silo. The only thing a silo can do is house a nuclear missile. If you build one here, you cannot build another at this silo until you have launched it. You launch the missile by selecting it from the silo's action panel and right-clicking in the main view where you wish to strike. Build a nuclear missile and launch it at the Incan city when you're ready. When a nuclear explosion occurs, the devastating blast not only inflicts a great deal of damage to everyone and everything, friend or foe, in its considerable blast range, but also leaves a fallout effect that causes damage to units for a short time in the area. One of the ways you can judge your performance in Empire Earth 2 is by the crown system. The crowns are indicators of your absolute performance in the game, as well as your relative performance to other players. There are 3 crowns: military, imperial, and economic. Each crown corresponds to a branch on the tech tree and are similarly color-coded. Once a full branch has been researched in any given epoch, the corresponding crown is then available for you to capture. If you are the first to research the entire branch, the crown is automatically awarded to you if no one else currently owns it. If not, then capturing a crown is achieved by accomplishing goals that correspond to that crown. For instance, dropping bombs on your enemy has earned you many points toward earning the military crown. Once you earn the crown, no one else can have it for a set period of time. After that time is up, the person who has progressed the most towards earning it will have it awarded to him. Earning a crown grants a special power of your choosing. Now, open the tech tree and research all of the military technologies in order to win the military crown. Congratulations! Now, click on the military crown icon in the upper right corner and choose a power from the list. This power will be available to you for the duration of the time you hold the crown. When the time expires, every player's eligibility and crown score is assessed and the crown is awarded again. When you have chosen a power, go back to your city center. Notice there is another unit here. This is a military leader. You have earned a military leader by winning the military crown. Other leaders become available by winning other crowns. The leader has both a passive and active effect on other units. A passive power is one that projects a beneficial effect on all your units in a radius around the leader without any direct input from you. A button on the leader's UI that only activates when you click it and select a target represents an active power. Send your leader to join with the forces being signaled right now.
Of course.
Notice the blue glow on your troops near your leader. That means they have a positive effect being played on them. A red glow means a negative effect. Now press the apostrophe key to enter Coordinated Attack Mode. While in this mode, all of your move and attack orders will be stored on-screen graphically instead of being instantly carried out. This way, you can give multiple groups different sets of orders, which they will execute simultaneously once you exit Tactics mode. For now, just tell Group 1, Group 2, and the leader to move into the Incan city, and press the apostrophe key again to have them follow your orders. Keep Control Group 2 selected for a little while. Select the unit icon, flashing in the unit information panel. We'll talk about the characteristics of different civilizations. This is the Aztecs' unique unit for epochs 11 through 15. He operates like a medic, automatically healing your wounded units as he comes across them. Each civilization has a unique unit that they can build, and each one changes from the early game to the late. Each civilization has other things that make it distinct from one another.
Ready when you are.
But civilizations also fall into regional groups. The Aztecs, for example, share some things in common with the Incans because they are both part of the Mesoamerican region. For instance, both share the same regional power. Place your cursor over the flashing icon to get details about this power. This is the Mesoamerican late-game power of cloning. When you activate this power, for a short period of time, any unit your priests convert will create another unit just like him under your control. Now, let's move into the final lesson. Make sure your units target and destroy the Incan city center. When that is done, bring some citizens into the territory and build your own city center. Alternatively, you could just capture the Incan city center. Either way, this is how you capture a territory. The map is divided up into territories, which you can see by selecting the territory overlay under the minimap.
No time like the present.
Controlling more territories allows you to build more city centers and houses, which in turn allows you to build more troops. Building houses in a territory also has the added benefit of increasing the bonus to any resources collected in that territory. Some victory conditions depend on controlling a certain number of territories or a specific territory, like this one. When you have seized the Incan territory, this tutorial will end. Good luck and enjoy Empire
No time like the
Earth
present.
2.